Hey, welcome back to Beer Geeks Beer Reviews. Today I'm going back into the past a little bit, and we have an empty glass. What should we do with this? Man, you know what we should do with this. We're gonna put a beer in this glass, man. But like I said, we're going back into the past a little bit. Why? Because I don't have all the video reviews of, let's just say, Boston Beer Company that I would like to have. So I've been seeking out throughout the interwebs and I've gotten a hold of some bottles. They're vintage bottles, but I'm still going to do reviews on them. Why? Because of the fact that I would still like to know and understand what the flavors were or are, even if they're changed. So without further ado, today we're gonna go with BAM, Sam Adams Pale Ale. The pale ale is just one of those beers that they come along every now and then, and you're just like, wow, I totally forgot about that beer. But once you get it into your mouth and you're like, that's just a really good solid beer. It might not be nothing special to it, but it's just one of those really good solid beers. That's what I can remember about it. Now, I'm going to let you know this is an old bottle. This bottle is, it says right here, best before um, uh, Enjoy Before Notch on the label here, and it says October of 2011. Well, here it's December of 2013. So, yes, of course, it is an old bottle, but I'm still going to do it anyway. I would like to know if they've taken this pale ale and brewed it into something else. I have a feeling that they did, but without further ado, I open it up and it pours everywhere. Very, very nice. Wow. I was not expecting that. That is actually pretty nifty. And I do keep towels for that kind of thing. Look at the head on that. That is just amazing. I could have just like tipped the bottle left or right and a little bit too much before, bringing it down. Um, there's still a little bit of fizz on the inside, but look at that head. That is just insane. After all this time, and you still got that much head. Um, Carbonation is still rather lively inside this glass, even though that this is an etched glass. Um, I do understand that the flavors might not be as crisp or as potent as they would if this was a fresh beer, but I don't know. I still want to know. I, inquiring mind, want to know. So without further ado, there it is. Look at this. This is the pale ale. Although it being aged, I do say that it might go a little foggy. Um, I don't remember off the top of my head how crystal clear this was, but it's got that nice orange tinge to it, as you can see. Look at it. You get that like yellow hues over here, very light in color, but darker oranges up here as it gets, thicker into the glass. Um, Head, as you can see, is retaining very, very well. And you can definitely still smell a hop presence and a malt characteristic to it. One thing I do really love about the Boston Beer Company is the fine crafted arts that they do with their beers, even when it's past its prime. It is still very, very drinkable. I have had quite a few beers that have been aged by proper people, and they're still very good. Let's get into this one. Still that real light green hop scent aroma. Now, I do know a lot about this beer. This beer, number one, is it's first off, it's a pale ale. What can you expect? I mean, you get their two-row blend, and I believe that there's some Munich 10 in here for the malt build, and it is a ale, so it is top fermenting. Um, As for hops, I do know for a fact that they are East Kent Goldings and English Fuggles that are in here. So you're going to get that little bit of earthy note, but yet you're going to get that floral aroma and maybe a little bit of a citrus note. Prost. Okay. There's definitely a age to it. You're definitely getting a little bit of a citrus note. Very little. It's still very clean. It's still very crisp. Um, the malt characters to it, you're definitely getting a little bit more breadiness than I believe that you would when it was fresh. Other than that, it more or less tastes like mm, an orange rye. You know, the rind that you get off of, you just peel it off of the orange. But if you suck on the orange rind, and if you get a lot of that, if you start chewing on it, you get a lot of that citra oil and the texture that comes from the outside of the orange. That's almost what it reminds me of. I'm not going to say that it's bad, but I would definitely love to have this beer fresh. Uh, I truly missed it. I only had one fresh bottle, and that was pretty much back at this time, back in 2011, maybe even 2010. Um, I, it's just a missed beer. Um, it's not bad, even though it's aged. But with that said, hey, if you can find it, man, try it out. There's nothing really bad with it. It's not going to harm you. It's not going to bother you. There's no off flavors in it. You just get a little bit of aged consistency there where everything's not as strong, but it's still there. You can still taste it. I mean, it's not what it used to be. But with that said, man, hey, we put another beer in this glass. Come back again and enjoy me again for another wonderful, wonderful beer review. Man, peace, prost, deuce. Hey, rate, comment, subscribe. Hey, give me a holler, man. Let me know if you had this beer. What did you think of this beer when you had it the last time you had it? Now that they don't make it anymore, I feel bad about that. Want this to get out to the masses of the newer aged beer connoisseurs. Well, with that said, hey man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Peace.